Here comes another opportunity to be informed and educated in the world of telecommunication, courtesy the telecom regulator, the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. Hello there, I am your regular host, Georgina Ndukwe. Welcome to your favorite TV show, Telecom Today. In this edition of the program, which promises to be very interesting, the NCC boss holds interactive session with USPF state desk officers. Telecom regulator emphasizes the need for harmonization of data by telecom operators, as well as the latest from the NCC Tennis Cup Championship. On our news of the week, Ken Sarawiwa Polytechnic, Bori River State, takes delivery of telecom and ICT books courtesy of the NCC, while the consumer segment will feature implication of pre-registered SIM cards. And that's the outlook on the NCC flagship TV program, Telecom Today. So I urge you to please stay tuned. We will be right back. The Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF, remains one of the important arms of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. The fund, which is the remittance by telecom operators, is being used to equip institutions of learning in the country with ICT and other telecom gadgets. Serving as the eyes of the fund are the state desk officers, who are also responsible for proper placement of the e-learning process. In view of the importance of particular project, the Executive Vice Chairman of the NCC interacted with them on the need to carry out their responsibilities with precision. In its efforts to create a strong synergy and to foster healthy working relationship, the new NCC boss had an interactive forum with state desk officers of the Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF, School Knowledge Center, SKC, which focused on ways to deliver sustainable e-learning solutions among schools across the country. The Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, Professor Umar Dambata, in his remarks, said the interaction with state desk officers is geared towards project sustainability and empowerment of the school community, which is in line with the USPF's vision to provide equitable access for all.
Using specified USPF programs and projects for empowering especially our rural communities. These will dictate at all times what our focus will be, and I'm sure they will form part of the parameters we will emphasize in driving network expansion to facilitate improvement. Quality of service. Quality of service has become a topical issue, and the Commission is consciously, deliberately putting measures in place to address this issue. We must not be seen doing nothing. We must be hard. All our efforts will amount to nothing if the Nigerian public is not aware about these efforts.
Professor Dambata, however, assured of his commitment within the limits of equity and available resources to ensure that these USPF projects will have a remarkable impact in the nation's education sector.
As you may know, I came from an academic community and would strive within the limits of equity and available resources to ensure that our projects in the educational sector, such as the universal inter-campus connectivity, tertiary institution access project, and the school knowledge center, make remarkable and desirable impact on the sector, the telecommunication sector.
Secretary of the Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF, Mr. Ayuba Shraibu, said the meeting is to ensure that state desk officers inculcate 21st century skills in the students and a set of abilities needed to develop and succeed in the digital world.
As you are aware, the School Knowledge Center, SKC project, for which you have been appointed desk officers by your respective state governments, is one of our projects designed to inculcate 21st century skills to the students, which are a set of abilities that the students need to develop in order to succeed in the digital world.
It is expected that the state desk officers will now begin to demonstrate willingness to buy in and take ownership of their responsibilities within each jurisdiction. If you're just joining us, this is Telecom Today, a TV flagship program powered by the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. For effective data management, the telecom regulator says there is no alternative to proper registration of SIM cards. As a result of the rise in crimes that are aided with mobile phones, it has become imperative for the Commission to embark on an awareness campaign tour to re-educate the public on the need to ensure that their SIM cards are properly registered after purchase. This issue, among others, featured prominently during a live radio phone-in program of 103.5 FM Lagos. The guest was no other than the NCC spokesman, Mr. Tony Ojobo. The Nigerian Communications Commission reiterates the need for single database and genuine SIM cards registration by all telecom subscribers and service providers to avoid sanctions. This was made known during a phone-in program on Radio 103.5 FM Lagos. The Director of Public Affairs, Nigerian Communications Commission, Mr. Tony Ojobo, emphasized on the need for all subscribers to ensure that they undergo proper SIM card registration for proper harmonization of data. He said pre-registration of SIM cards should be avoided because miscreants use mobile phones to perpetrate evil, and such acts can only be checkmated through effective and harmonized data.
SIM card registration started in 2011. And it is important for us to know that as a nation, we don't have any national database from where you can pull out information about people, biometrics, pictures, addresses. So the SIM card registration actually offered the first opportunity, a foundation for us to be able to get critical mass of data that captures biometrics of different demographics. So in other words, that was like a foundation for us to really build a database. And if you are talking about 148 million subscribers, if you're able to capture that information and it is credible, then that has given us a mass of data that can actually even be used for the nation in terms of national planning and other things. Now, in 2011, because of the security situation that was beginning to emerge at that time, issues of insurgency and all of that, there was therefore the need for us to put a face to every number. We needed to know who was using what number.
In his contribution, the Zonal Controller, Nigerian Communications Commission, Lagos Zonal Office, Mr. Oke Aniwike, said subscribers can control some of the unsolicited messages received by sending "stop" in capital letter to such service provider. He also added that subscribers should not hesitate to report such unwholesome practice to the NCC customer care line 622 or to report to any service center nearby.
Messages, certain information would definitely have to filter into the phones. However, every individual, every subscriber has a responsibility, to be able to manage that. And part of it in Nigeria is you simply send "stop" to whatever number it came from. When you don't want it, send "stop" or send "deactivate."
But some people will tell you it doesn't work.
Or walk into their customer care centers. That's why these things were put in place. Take a little responsibility. Walk into the customer care center and complain. They will deactivate it completely for you.
During the program, a caller from Lagos, Mr. Stephen, said NCC should make provision for where subscribers can lodge complaints. Another caller from Agege, Mohammed, said most of the service providers charge high tariff most times, and subscribers come across unsolicited text messages from these service providers. He called on the NCC to put an end to such practice. A caller from Lekki said any service provider that cannot comply with the stated rules should be severely sanctioned and the license should be retrieved from such service provider. Mr. Tony Ojobo had this response.
Pricing is a function of cost. Every service is a function of the cost of providing that service. For instance, in developed countries, no network will, for instance, pass the cost of generator or diesel on the cost of service provision. But here, for instance, you have operators running about 15,000 generators across the nation. Now, so all of those things have cost implications. So when people are paying, They actually pay, it's a cost plus margin.
What are the structural...
Victor, a caller from Surulere, asked about what the Nigerian Communications Commission is doing to checkmate overloading of towers which are harmful to human lives and properties. Mr. Tony Ojobo said there are guidelines and specifications for every tower which must be adhered to by every service provider.
Even in the construction of the towers and the base stations, there is certain minimum or maximum load that is required, and also maybe a minimum in terms of specification for towers and base stations. So I don't know how he actually got the how he came by saying that it's overloaded. But of course, people should rest assured that those towers and those masts, there are specifications, and our engineers go to make sure that those masts and towers are built according to specifications. There is a type approval process before they are built, while they are being built, and after they are built.
Welcome back. Let's turn to sports, where the team Civil Defense beats Team Tumbim to top Blue Group at the NCC Tennis Cup Championship. In continuation of the NCC-sponsored Tennis Championship Cup, the Civil Defense team overrode a 1-2 deficit from the opening day to beat Team Tumbim 4-3 at the end of a 7-match series Sunday. Moses Michael and Sarah Adegoke of Tumbim had beaten Abdul Mumuni Babalola and Christy Agubom respectively on Saturday, while national champion Clifford Enosoregbe, playing for the Civil Defense, rescued a point by beating Christian Paul in straight sets. On Sunday, Enosoregbe outlasted Michael 3-6, 6-3, 7-6 in the first reverse singles to even the tie. But the celebration was short-lived as Christian Paul again shot Tumbim ahead with a convincing 6-3, 6-2 win over former national champion Shehu Lawal.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy I won. I think the second set after we came back from the rain, I just have to stick in and be mentally tough, which I did.
Great thank you to NCC, because without this league, I think we Nigerian players won't be able to compete in any competition, since Central Bank and all that. So the league keep us busy and keep everybody to say, okay, we want to go back to training because we're having league this week, this coming week, and all that. So, which is very, very good. It's a very good idea, and I say on behalf of Nigerian tennis players, big thanks to them, to NCC.
With loads of double match experience on the side of Civil Defense, Babalola paired with Agubom to easily win the mixed doubles 6-3, 6-1 against Paul and Christy Mbadiwe, and the combination of Lawal and Babalola beat Moses and Paul 7-6, 6-4 in the men's doubles to win the tie 4-3.
Yeah, we said that it's been encouraging. It's beyond our expectation. We didn't know it will attract so much attention, so much interest, so much competition. And of course, moving tennis around the country, we were in Port Harcourt last week, and people have a feel of what competitive tennis looks like. We observe that in many parts of the country, even where people are interested and where you have facilities like the lawn tennis lawns, but people are not they're utilized. The players do not have opportunity to utilize them for competitiveness. So I think this has given us much to cheer, and we are encouraged by what we have achieved by it.
And you have all the kids here, a lot of kids with their parents coming to watch. So it goes without saying that we're going to have a lot of young players taken to the sport. We are working so hard to make sure that it works, it continues, and then whatever it takes. I mean, if you have such a good product and you have such quality tennis, there's no way that you want to end it. And we will do whatever it can as coordinators, as organizers, to make sure that it continues to be attractive to the players, to the sponsors, to the spectators, and everybody involved.
The Civil Defense team will now meet Team Ogun, runners-up in the white group, in the semi-finals in Port Harcourt Friday, October 2nd to Sunday, October 4th, while Team Tombim will host Team Kalutari, the winners of the white group, in Abuja from Friday, October 9th to Sunday, October 11th. Meanwhile, all roads now lead to Kaduna for the last round-robin match between host CBN Futures and Team FCT at the Murtala Square from Friday, August 28th to Sunday, August 30th. This tie concludes the round-robin phase and will serve only to determine third and fourth places in the white group. 4 teams in the semi-finals are guaranteed a minimum of 1 million naira, with the winning team set to bag 5 million naira and the runner-up 3 million naira. Next is the news of the week. It was all smiles for students, staff, and management of Ken Saro-Wiwa Polytechnic, Buri in Rivers State when the institution took delivery of ICT and Telecom books courtesy of the NCC. Details when we return shortly. Please stay tuned.
In view of compliance with security agencies about the sale and distribution of illegally pre-registered SIM cards across the country, the Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC) has taken the following measures as a matter of urgency. Service providers must commence immediately deactivation of any SIM card that does not generate any economic activity after 48 hours of registration as contained in the NCC directives. The general public is hereby notified that selling, buying, and use of pre-registered SIM card is illegal and is punishable under the NCC law. Immediate deactivation of all SIM cards that are not properly registered or contain incomplete registration. However, subscribers who are so disconnected are advised to go back to their respective service providers to properly register their SIM cards. Any service provider who fails to abide by these measures will be sanctioned, as this is considered as an attempt to sabotage government's effort to address security challenges in the country. All subscribers are advised to bear with the inconveniences that these measures may cost them, as this is designed to safeguard lives and property of all citizens. Signed, Management.
If you're just joining us, welcome to the News of the Week segment of Telecom Today. Though regulating the telecom industry is the primary mandate of NCC, it has also continued to discharge its corporate social responsibilities to the admiration of players of the industry. One of such ways is through encouraging e-learning across the country. It was the turn of Ken Saro-Wiwa Polytechnic, Buri in Rivers State recently, where telecom and ICT books worth millions of naira were presented to the institution. The Deputy Rector in charge of Ken Saro-Wiwa Polytechnic, Buri, Rivers State, Engineer Dabio Kabo Princewell, says the donation of over 80 ICT books and the previous donations of ICT equipment through the Advanced Digital Access Program for Tertiary Institutions, ADAPTI, to the institution by the Nigerian Communications Commission will go a long way to strengthen the accreditation criteria of the institution, as the library is part of the key department for consideration during accreditation visits.
He who does not read lacks knowledge, does not seek knowledge, and so donations of this sort will greatly improve reading, the use of books within the Polytechnic, that's for our students and even staff and the public who come here to read too.
The Deputy Rector also expressed his gratitude to the Commission while assuring that the school will make good use of the donations in terms of usage and maintenance.
On behalf of management, staff and students of the Rivers State Polytechnic, Buri, I want to express our sincere gratitude to the Nigerian Communications Commission for this gesture of goodwill. I will not be singing too much of your praises if I also add that in the not too distant past, I don't know how many months ago, the Nigerian Communications Commission also donated to this institution so many computer systems.
Earlier, the Deputy Director Policy and Competition of the NCC, Dr. Henry Kimadu, during the donation disclosed that the Commission embarked on the National Books Donation Initiative in response to the support for capacity building and public libraries in higher institutions of learning in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country.
Really, like we said, the National Book Donation Initiative was designed to cover the 6 regions of Nigeria. There are some schools that have engineering, ICT, and we will not leave those ones and go to those who have maybe medical bias, because we are strictly trying to ensure we pushing and develop people in the ICT and telecom area.
Also, the Director and Commission Secretary, Mr. Felix Adoye, stated that it is part of NCC's corporate social responsibility with the intention of taking the donation further to other institutions.
Yeah, this is part of our corporate social responsibility in going about the nation, ensuring that we made ICT knowledge very pervasive. In addition to donation of books, we've been to other places, other schools where we have done the internet wireless access, the DAP, Digital Awareness Program, and also the adaptee also in many institutions. So in addition to this one, we've been all over the place ensuring that our youth are empowered in terms of the knowledge that they now need to work. Otherwise, if we still rely on the old tools to work, we will not make progress as a nation.
Recall that the Commission also donated ICT books to various institutions across the country, and most recently to the Federal Polytechnic, Bokolo, Benue State. Thank you for being there on Telecom today. Before we round off on today's episode, let's, as usual, take the consumer segment. On our consumer segment today, we are seeking the opinion of subscribers on pre-registered SIM cards, its implication, as well as other issues regarding SIM card registration from the consumer's perspective. Enjoy.
Have you received any SMS from your service provider about SIM card registration? Or have your line been blocked as a result? What were the process and the actions you took? Telecom today is on the street to sort the view of subscribers about this.
No, there wasn't any action taken. No action taken, but it's scary that you should have some text telling you to go and register when you know your lines are supposed to have been registered.
I did not receive any message in my own personal line, but I'm SRO. I registered SIM, Etisalat MTN Glo. And I have been getting people's complaints, their line have been bad, and people that MTN and Glo have been sent to go and register their lines.
I think it's okay. It makes sense. You can't pre-register someone you don't know. That's my impression. You can't do that. I can't register on my behalf when you don't even know when I'm going to buy the line or when I'm going to buy the line. So it's fraudulent. It's criminal to me. It encourages a lot of crimes and impunity and name it. So I think it's a welcome development. Yeah. Oh, my impression is, there's a lot of fraud with this SIM. That's what I think the reason why they are registering SIM. So many people did so many frauds over all these lines. So it's difficult when you do fraud with your line. It can be easily, they can dictate the person. If you go to any of the service provider, but when it's not registered, anybody can use any line and do whatever they want to do.
Yes, if not, they are going to block it for me. That I should go and register it now, or else they are going to block it for me.
Okay, they are telling me to come and do it again, and I'll be doing it. What else? This is the 3rd time I'm going for Glo, but MTN twice, and MTN is not. I don't see MTN again. But today, this afternoon, by 11:33, I'll show you the time. 11:33. Just now I got the message, and I left the office to come and do it again.
I have a complaint because they have blocked my Etisalat line.
Okay. Or did they send you a message to go and register your SIM?
I didn't see any message. It just blocked. So I don't know. I want to re-register it.
Yes, I did. And what did you do?
No, I did nothing, but I want to go to MTN office and ask maybe any problem or, but for now I don't know. But I'm still waiting. Maybe if they'll block my SIM or they'll still send me another message. So I'm still waiting for their reply.
If you have received any SMS from your service provider about SIM card registration, why not go to any service center near you for reactivation at Tinuke Tokura, Telecom Today.
Telecom Today is brought to you by the telecom regulator, the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. Well, this is where we want to draw the curtain on this week's edition of the program. Remember to send us your feedback and comments through the NCC website, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. For service complaints, please call our toll-free number 622 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. I am positive that you have been informed and educated on the program. Next week, same time, same station, will provide us yet another opportunity to continue to inform you on the happenings in the ICT sector. Until then, I am Georgina Ndukwe saying